Hello. There we go. Time to get blinded. Oh boy, oh boy. Wait, what is this? So... to get some sounds so I can focus. And otherwise, just pretty much... I don't know what that one is. Otherwise, just advent of code next 2 days. Keen to try it out and see what we have. Days 5 and 6, I think. Sorry. I was very disorganized because I was trying to fix something at work. Adventofcode.com. Day 5. And open up the IDE. Wait, what? Is this the right one? Oh yes, the bingo game. That's the right one. Wait, I just need to open up one more thing. And then we're all good to go, pretty much. Okay. Everything is appearing. So day 5, hydrothermal venture. You come across a field of hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor. What's that? Just geysers or something like that? Yeah. Very fancy. Not going to go through that, obviously. These vents constantly produce large, opaque clouds. So it would be best to avoid them if possible. They tend to form in lines. The submarine helpfully produces a list of nearby lines of vents. Your puzzle input. For example, we get those. 09 goes to 59, 80 goes to 08, and so on. Each line of vents is given as a list. Is given as a line segment in the format that, where the first two, x1, y1, are the coordinates of one end of the line. Okay, so it's just joining two together. These line segments include the points at both ends. In other words, an entry like 11 to 13 covers points 11, 12, and 13. Entry like 97 and 79. This is hurting my brain a bit. So the horizontal and vertical lines from the above list would produce the following diagram. Let's see. So we have its coordinates, right? 0, 9 is this one, I would assume. X is 0, Y is 9. No. X is 0, Y is 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, yes, that one. To 5, 9. So it's just a horizontal line going to X is 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I can see that, but was that sound? That's horrible. Okay, let me just put this into the project so my brain can catch up with what's going on there. So I'll just create all the necessary files. So I'm going to add one for day 5 and create a new input file, which is going to be the example, and just paste what they gave us. I like to do the example stuff as well because, you know, you can confirm your program works because they give you what the expected output should be for the example. So it's a really good starting place. And then I just create a little class that implements my puzzle system just for easier testing. And then I create a unit test, believe it or not, which also extends puzzle test, I think I called it, yes. And we implement some properties. Day 5 is the thing we're going to test. So here I just use this to return a map. And the key is the input file. So we'll say day 5 example.txt. This will give me what expected output. But I'm not even going to read the rest of it. Is it 5? I think. So then the expected output for that input file would be 5. And then I can use that to easily just run my tests and see if it works or not. So now obviously this is the tricky part, trying to implement the actual logic. Oh, and first I must just get the list of inputs. Lovely plumbing sounds. It's going to be a list of strings, which is, you know, one string per line. Let me just actually, yeah. So each string in the list is going to be a line in the input file. So now, first is going to be to parse this before we can do anything. So it's just going to be points, right? This is an XY coordinate, so we can probably just use a pair to represent those. And I'm just thinking how we can... Do we need to represent them on a larger scale, like all the points together, or in some kind of graph, because it's connecting... Let me just finish reading this actually before I start overthinking. So I need to reread this potentially. So it's a field of vents on the floor. They produce clouds, so you need to go around them. They form in lines. And the submarine produces a list of nearby lines of vents, which is the input. For example, we get this. Each line of vents is given as a line segment, where x1, y1, which is the first part, are the coordinates of one end of the line segment, and x2, y2 are the coordinates of the other end. So it's basically saying this is the start, that's the end. On a 2-dimensional grid. These line segments include the points at both ends. Include, so it's inclusive. Yeah, as silly as that sounds. An entry like that. Oh, right, okay. Now I see what they're saying now. Because it goes from coordinate 1, 1 to 1, 3. So it's a vertical one, right? X is 1, and Y is 1, 2, and 3. And then X is 9, Y is 7. It's a horizontal one. goes 2 units that way. 987. Okay. I don't know, I just didn't understand it properly the first time I read through, but that does make sense. For now, only consider horizontal and vertical lines. That's lines where either x1 equals x2. Yeah, so obviously not diagonal ones. That'll probably be part 2 because it says for now. Then we have this diagram they drew. So it just above list would produce this thing. In the diagram, the top left is 0, 0, and the bottom right is 9, 9. Each position is shown as the number of lines which cover that point, or dot if nothing does. Okay, yeah, it makes sense just plotting all of the points of all of the lines. To avoid the most dangerous areas, you need to determine the number of points where at least 2 lines overlap. Okay. In the above example, this is anywhere in the diagram with a 2 or larger. Okay, cool. Total of 5. So how many points overlap? Simple enough. Well, not simple, but finally it makes sense in my head, so holy cow. Wow, this is some high numbers. 900, 800. This is the actual input, so I will just actually copy that into the project for now, so it's done. Puzzle.txt, paste 500 of them. But for now, I'm not even going to look at that. I want to just carry on with the example and figure out how to do this. So I want to actually just split this to the right. So we have some coordinates and need to just, I guess, iterate through all of them, through each one, and like interpolate, draw out the line and keep track of each point that we've hit already. Sorry, my voice is dying apparently. So I should actually just do that. Okay, so the input, I will actually just have a thing to parse it. So we'll get the list of strings, and we will return now a list of pairs of int, I guess, representing all of the points that we have. And stupid birds. Return input dot map. So we just need to split it by the arrow, and I think, yeah, it's always this. Right, yeah, that's always the same, so we can rely on that. So line.split by space arrow space, and that will give us the start and the end points. We can destructure it, end like this. Wait, no, it's not going to be a list of pairs. Oh boy. Because we're not just returning... Oh, my brain is hurting. a list of pair of pairs. Does that make sense? Okay, I don't know if this is going to be the best way, but no, that's too much of a mission to read. Type alias makes it a bit easier, I think. Like that is essentially what I want. Because we have a pair of int to int. Anywho, so the first so return split. I need to just reduce this a bit, I think. Split it by a comma. X, Y is equal to that. Return point. No, return X to Y. What? Oh. Convert it to an int, of course. Okay, then we return, now we create a new pair, start.toPair to end.toPair. I don't know, there might be a slightly smoother way to do this, but I want to just get going. So let's print out the parse result of input. First time building, so it'll be slow, of course. Dave, what's up, man? Create those pairs. Tasty. My brain is busy melting. Wait, what? I didn't run the right test, did I? This one. Hope you're doing well, Dave. I hope the COVID is not COVIDing too badly. Okay, geez, what is even going on here? Okay, so it looks like it worked correctly. 09 to 59, 80 to 08. Yeah, that's cool. Wait, so we... Oh, right, okay, these were ignored because either the X or the Y value must be the same. I see. Because those aren't horizontal or vertical lines. So far, so good. Touch wood, yeah. No, good to hear, man. You wish you could. You should do it. It's really a lot of fun. I mean, last year I didn't manage to do everything, but I had a lot of fun still. It's just something different. Yeah, honestly, it's just a lot of fun. I mean, some of them, like last year, you needed to know some maths theories or something to help you out on part 2, otherwise you run out of memory. But it's a lot of fun. Maybe you can even use it to learn a new language. I just stuck with Kotlin because I'm boring. Okay, so I need to just filter out the ones we're not looking at for now. The ones where that does work, right? Yeah. Yeah, good. That's halfway is good, man. I went way over, you know, way past the 25th trying to figure out some of those puzzles. That was crazy. Too many trials. Yeah, I've seen some of that at, you know, where I am. But it's fun. It's nice to do something different after all. So we want where the first one is equal to that, or a dot second is equal to b dot second. Points dot join to string, so that we only get horizontal lines. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, either x is equal to x or y is equal to y. Euler project problems. I have not heard of that. Is that bad? Apparently I have. It's showing up as a link I've clicked before. So you probably told me before. These are probably way too advanced for me though, in other ways. I see math equations. Yeah, I'll stick to these ones, I think. I mean, once a year is enough of sending my brain into overdrive. Whew. I'm just trying to think how to do this, man. Do we store a list of points? Probably that's the easiest, to store a list of points that are on these points already, or on these lines. And actually just call this lines, I think. Points, set of point. So then we just need to interpolate and add all of them. All the points that are on the line. No. Because we need to count how many we have already visited. So I guess that's not too bad. You can just see if it's already in the set, then you increase the counter. Applied computer science. Yeah, it seems... I guess I'm more towards the computer science side of it. I mean, maths is it's too much. But you said you used to do them in Python. Maybe you should start again. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you still have energy after work, right, to try and do this stuff. Because this is extra brain power work, so you have to not be tired and depressed after a day's work. Okay, so pair of points, so I can change this, right, to like start, end. Nice. So if we have different this must be equals actually. So if the x values are the same, it means we have a vertical line. Horizontal otherwise. Shit, this is hurting my brain, man. People shouting. Did way more than what's in your Git repo. No. You need to get good, man. That means you must just redo them, I think. That's unfortunate. You just didn't... You didn't know about Git, or you didn't think about saving them. That's sad. But yeah, just do them again, it's an opportunity. Shit, I'm trying to think. So I need to go from the lowest y value to the higher one. If the start is after it, let me just do it the other way around. That's easier. Come on. Okay, wait, what am I checking? If the x is the same. Okay, that looks good. Head and tail, okay. That's a good one. Just doing them casually, alright. Fair enough. Scared of people judging your stuff. Yeah, I get That makes sense. Just stream them on Twitch. Okay, anywho. Now I just need to iterate. Right. Oh yeah, they have that nice little hint in the IDE to tell you that it's inclusive. Because I always forget the dot, you know, versus until. Then now it's not inclusive. Anyway. So. So we need to now construct a point that is the same x, but it goes to that current y value. If point points dot add, and it returns a boolean. Yes. True if it was added, right? True if the element has been added. Yes. So if it was not already added, then we can increase the count, meaning there's already a point there. Whew, this is messy. Time to copy and paste this for the X now. This copying and pasting this much cannot go wrong, right? Then for each of those x values, we need to interpolate. We take it now from the y to that x. No, x to the sec. Ugh, what am I typing? Okay. This is so bad. It doesn't work. I got 3 instead of 5. Why? Why? Print lines, how many? Oh, no, that should be 2 seconds. Whoops. Yes! Finally. Wait, why is it only... Huh? It prints out... oh, right, because it's up there. Never mind. Come on. Delete. I need to think of a better way to do this. But I think the general logic is fine. I mean, otherwise, what? You're gonna have to... I don't know. Yes. I'm scared of what part 2 is going to be. I don't know what the challenge is. Look very similar. Yeah, it So the story is you're in a submarine and there are these hydrothermal vents on the floor that make clouds that you can't see through, so you want to try and avoid them. And then you get like a list of points that represent a line of these vents. You know, and it goes from this coordinate 0, 9 to 5, 9. That's a line of vents. And you have to find out where these lines intersect. How many points... How do I say that? How many points are on multiple lines? I guess that's the best way to phrase it. In how many places do these lines intersect? And that's just the answer to the puzzle. At how many points do at least 2 lines overlap? So try against the actual puzzle now and see. Not the right answer. That's the first time I've got it wrong so far in this year. Answer is too high. Okay, now I know that it's not that. But what is wrong, man? What did I miss? I'm sure I used the right input. You have to wait before you can submit, so you can't just like brute force it. But let me just Control A, Control C. I obviously have the right input already, but yeah, 500 lines. How many are we actually looking at? Because again, we exclude ones that are, okay, 314, that are not horizontal or vertical. Man, I feel like I just need to make a class. Because writing first and second is annoying. Actually, I can just say first, and then I can do a refactor. So I don't have to rename every usage. Now why are you red? Huh? Mutable set of points. Oh right, because I created a pair. That's fine. I press reformat way too often. But hopefully my example one is not broken. That's right. But I still get the wrong answer. Let me just write that down so I don't forget. Get the gradient and then compare each line to each other line. Yo, it's rough, man. I don't know what that should be. Yeah, I guess my approach is a bit too manual. But my answer was too high. Is that what it said? I think that's what it said. Yeah, my answer is too high. I mean, I suppose putting this in here won't help. Because I filtered out the invalid ones already. Yeah. I mean, I might have to do some of those equations. But my maths is just not what it used to be. Wait, what did you say the name should be? Head and tail? Am I just incrementing it when I shouldn't? I mean, I don't... No. Yes, I think it's wrong because I'm incrementing it for ones that overlap like 3 or 4 times. I think that's right. Because they just want to know how many overlap 2 or more times, not... Because what I'm doing currently is if it overlaps 3 times, I'm increasing it twice. Shit. Where they would just want to increase it once. If it overlaps 100 times, still only increases it once. Jeepers. It's like you need to keep track of... Oh, this is so bad. But just for proof of workage, keep track of the points you've already visited. Right, instead of just a count, and then you return the visitor.size at the end. What? Oh, okay, it's lower now. I thought it was higher. Yes, okay. Holy cow. Oh. Sneaky hobbitses. I knew it. I knew they were going to bring diagonal into the picture. I mean, at this point, maybe it's good to do a straight line graph or something. Considering only horizontal and vertical lines doesn't give you the full picture. You need to also consider diagonal lines. Because of the limits of the hydrothermal vent mapping system, the lines in your list will only ever be horizontal, vertical, or diagonal at 45 degrees. How convenient. An entry like 11233 will cover all of those points. An entry like 9779, 97, yeah. Considering all lines from the above example would now produce the following diagram that looks beautiful. You still need to determine the number of points where at least 2 overlap. In the above example, this is still anywhere in the diagram with a 2 or larger, now a total of 12. Okay, so now I can put that into my test so that we expect to get 12. Oops, from part 2. This one. Maybe need to look up some ways to magically get. Okay, oh sorry, didn't see. Off for dinner and stuff. Cool, man. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Enjoy the dinner and enjoy your gaming or whatever you're getting up to. Have a good one, Dave. And on that note, I shall be right back. Quick break. I need to just deal with a work thing quickly, send a message. Okay. So I need to maybe, because what are we doing? We're having straight line equations and finding where they intersect. Right. Do some research. Mm-hmm. This is super bad. Maybe I should just look at day 6. Holy, what is going on? Lantern fish. The seafloor is getting steeper. Maybe the sleigh keys got carried this way. A massive school of glowing lantern fish. I think I know what this is, but let's see. Oh no, not that. But it's adorable. They must spawn quickly to reach such large numbers, maybe exponentially. You should model their growth rate to be sure. Of course, because why not? Although you know nothing about the specific species of lanternfish, you make some guesses about their attributes. Surely each lanternfish creates a new lanternfish once every 7 days. Jeepers, they don't mess around. However, this process isn't necessarily synchronized between every lanternfish. One fish might have 2 days left until it creates another one, while another might have 4. Yeah, right. So they're not all all exploding on the same day. So you can model each fish as a single number that represents the number of days until it creates a new one. Makes sense? So if a fish is number 3, it means it has 3 days left. Furthermore, you reason a new fish would surely need slightly longer before it's capable of producing more fish. 2 more days. Yes, okay. So it needs like a cooldown time. Suppose you have a fish with an internal timer value of 3. After 1 day it becomes 2, then it becomes 1, and it becomes 0. Okay, so it's 0 based, and then it resets to 6. And it will create a new lanternfish with an internal timer of 8. Oh, right, not a cooldown, but a maturity sort of period. After another day, the fish would have an internal timer of 5, and the second one would go to 7. Simple enough. And a lanternfish that creates a new one resets its timer to 6, not 7, because 0 is included in the valid range, right? Because when we reach 0, we wait for another day only, and then multiply. So, yeah, so then we go back to 6. Makes sense? The new one starts with an internal timer of 8, and does not start counting down until the next day. Realizing what you're trying to do, the submarine automatically produces a list of the ages of several hundred nearby fish. Of course it does. For example, if you get that one, this means that the first fish has an internal of 3 and 4 and so on. And then you continue to simulate it. Jeepers. This sounds like quite a fun one, actually. Each day, a 0 becomes a 6. Yeah, you can see that there. You change 0 to 6 and adds a new 8 to the end of the list. While each other number decreases by 1 if it was present at the start of the day. In this example, after 18 days there are a total of 26. After 80 days there would be 5,000 what. Find a way to simulate the lanternfish. How many would there be after 80 days? Okay. Seems pretty fun, actually. The other one was just too many maths for my brain. So I'm gonna just close that off. I'll try to solve it later, but I want to just carry on with the fun stuff for now. You'll have to excuse my brain. Day 6 now. creating the input files. The example is this one. Three, 4, 3, 1, 2. Just got to set up all the necessary goodies, so it allows me to easily test stuff. So they said the example input would be that much after 80 days. Sorry. So I need to now write my code and test that I get that. Makes sense. So we get the list of strings, which is just a line of each thing in the file, and we'll only have one line, I think. Right, even though it goes to multiple, it's still probably only one line. Let's just add it to be sure. Yes, one line of a lot of fish. Hopefully we don't run out of memory at some point. But now I want to just map this to numbers. Let's see. So we'll have a fish, something to keep track of all of them. Map it to an int. And then to a mutable list, so we can change it after each generation or whatever we're going to call it. Okay, so here are the rules for ease of access. So we're just going to do that and return the, it was the number of fish, right? Yes. We can just return the size of that thing. We repeat 80 times because that's how many generations we have. Iterations, whatever you want to call it. So we need to iterate through the list, but we can't change it. So we need to build up a new list and then replace the old one, I think. So maybe this doesn't actually need to be mutable, but needs to be a var. So we can have a replacement list. New fish is a mutable list of int. And at the end we just update it to our new one. But before we do that, we need to go over all of them. Oh, sorry. And I don't know what to call this, days left until it produces a new one. So if it is 0, we need to increase it back to 6, right? Wait, no, those aren't the rules. Okay, whatever. If days left is 0, then we will make a new one, else we will just decrease it. So we will add days left -1 to the new one. And if we get to 0, we will need to add back 6 now because we've like reset. And we also add a new one that starts on 8. I think that's pretty much it, actually. I'm probably missing something, but I'll just give it a test run and see. Yeah. Oh. Shit, what am I doing? Failed with my input, so I need to take the first line, split it by a comma, and then convert it to an int. Hey, nice. Cool. So it worked. That's pretty simple. I wanted to see if there's anything I missed. So after each day, we just decrease the value. If we run into a 0, change it back to 6, and then we add a new one that starts on 8. And we don't decrease it on that same day. And you just carry on. And apparently none of them ever die because they just keep on growing. So we're probably going to run out of memory very quickly. Words. Not that one. I want to open this up and run the actual puzzle. And pray we have enough memory. That's a lot of them. Jeepers. Yay, that's the right answer. Splendid. Aha. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me just put that answer in there. And now for part 2. Suppose they live forever and have unlimited food and space. How nice would that be? After 256 days. Oh my god, okay. So after starting with 5 fish, after 256 days, you get to that many. And now you want me to run... Geez, how many do we even have? 300 fish for that same amount of time. I'm pretty sure my system's gonna explode. But let's try. So... the example input should give us that nice number. Yeah, and it's a long now, so that's nice. And I'll just actually make this a separate function because I can literally reuse all of it. We only need to make the generations customizable. And then we return a long with how many fish are left. Come on, select the right thing, please. There we go. This is not going to be fun. Ooh. Size is only an int, really? Well, that's gonna explode, but let's try. How long is it gonna take? Out of memory, of course. I can't even run. Wait, what is this? Part 1 is failing now? Wait, hold up. Oh, right, because I'm asserting against... Come on. Ints instead of longs. How on earth would you do this? What? Yeah, because we're just trying to grow the list the whole time, and eventually Java's like, nah, that's enough for you. You don't need that many. Wait, what did I just click on? Oh, create breakpoint. Oops, take that out. So I can't even run the sample that starts with 5 fish. But how would you do that? Because you have to store all of the fish. You can't just store a counter or something. Can you? How many are we going to get up to? Grinding to a halt slowly. We get to that many. How many is that out of the expect? Okay, not even close. Yeah, that's like 1,000 or almost. Well, a lot more. I mean, what's that? Like 3. It's like 500 times bigger or something. I don't know how you're supposed to do it. Are you supposed to just give it as much memory as it needs, but it seems dangerous. Instead of storing it as a list, what else could you use? Store it as a string or something. Probably need to do something like a stream or... What's the thing in Kotlin called? Sequence. Right, you can't load everything into memory at once. And that's fine, because you just need to iterate over them one at a time. So if you can get a sequence somehow... But then would you need to store it as a file? Maybe. But I/O is freaking slow, so that would suck. I'm pretty sure if you try to store it as a string in memory, it would also explode. Because this is how many elements we have in the list. 42 million. So you need to somehow store that many. Oh my gosh. How big would a file even get with that in it? I'm curious to know. I'm scared to break my system though. Sorry, work quickly. What? Can auto-complete stop breaking? Stupid. A sequence, but how do you store the whole thing? Let me just do this on test. If the number, the size is greater than, we said what, 40 million? So let's just say 10 million. Just to keep it simple, you know? I want to explode at the end of the day, but before then, you can have a file out.txt .write text. This is gonna be bad. Okay, let me have it. Okay, 30 megs. That's not too terrible. I mean, considering it's just integers, it's pretty bad. Holy cow. But that's fine, because now you could load that as a stream, right? Read. Yeah, you can use a stream reader. Or a buffered reader, I don't know which is better. Not read lines, because you don't want to read the whole thing in one go, but a reader, this is an extension function, right? Oh, they both are. But how? I mean, you can get rid of spaces as well, because that's a lot of additional wastage. You could say join to string where the separator is just a comma, right? So it was 31 meg, and now 21. Okay. This is probably the minimum. This is a wall of numbers, but the minimum storage you could use. And then how does the reader actually work? Input stream reader dot next read. Stream input stream, right? Sequence. Damn, I haven't really worked with sequences in Kotlin, so I don't know how to get one. I don't know if you even can with a file. Let me see. A line sequence. Okay. Buffered reader dot line sequence? Yes. No. Because I don't really have lines, it's just one. It's just one long file. Jeepers. Because I don't need to read line by line. Although maybe that makes it simpler. Let me try that. So pretty sure this is a terrible solution, but I need to try it. Need to know. We create a file, and it's weird now because we don't. Yeah, we don't have like a list that we keep track of anymore. Instead, I'm just writing the writing the original list that we load to that initial file. Shit. And separating it with a new line. Then here we don't have a list anymore because then everything breaks. So for each generation we need to read the file. Now can you reset the reader? You can, right? Reset. What does that do? To the most recent mark. Okay, it would kind of suck if I had to recreate a reader every time, but we'll see. But otherwise, now instead of iterating over array, we say reader.sequence, line sequence dot for each. Now each line will just be a number now, not an actual string. Sheet, but then we'd have to have a secondary file that we write the new data to. Why is it a long? I forgot. So we'll have a new file that's like temp or something, I don't know. Create. Because then what we need to do now is instead of adding it to a list, we will say temp.append text. We need to append 6, 8. Otherwise we append, shit, what was that? Days left -1. Afterwards, we will say temp.rename to the original file. Let me just see how badly it runs with the original part 1 only. Wait, what? Okay. Super slow. Okay, but this is wrong, right? Because I can't use that list size anymore. So after I've done everything, I need to go through. This might also be broken. Let me just try without that. So I have to go one more time through everything and increase the count. I don't even know if we have enough space inside of the long. Probably do. Oh, come on, man. How is it returning 5? Are you serious? Okay, I think I need to end here and have a bit of a break because I'm getting a bit frustrated and hungry. Anyway.